Welcome to chapter, or I guess Psalms 3 instead of chapter now. The Lord is our protector. Well, we certainly do need protection a lot of times in our life. We can use physical protection and mental protection. I'm not sure which is exactly the worst. Mental problems, they're being attacked by Satan, being charged by other people of doing things falsely, being charged, or facing a difficult situation and having Satan say you can't do it, you're going to fail, it's going to, something else is going to take over, or you're in a medical, having a medical problem. Like I'm right now, I'm going to have a hip surgery in a week, and Satan sure throws a lot of things at me, like worrying about if I'm going to get there, if worrying about where the pills are going to be, worrying about how I get out of bed, how I eat, and all sorts of things. Just a tremendous amount of mental attack against us. Then there's the physical attack. Right now in Israel, the Palestinians are shooting thousands of rockets into Israel. Why people in your own country would have all these rockets is unbelievable. That would be like in the United States if the city of Philadelphia had thousands of rockets to shoot against Cleveland. Well, why? Why would all these people be there with all these rockets ready to attack? And when you see that, you need protection. And the Israelis have what's called the Iron Dome. It's another rocket that goes in to the air after the rockets that are coming in, and it explodes and supposedly blows them up. But many of the rockets get through, Palestinian rockets get through, and they even shot rockets to the holy city of Jerusalem, which they claim is a holy city, which is the Palestinians, who are basically all Muslim. Now, why would they shoot rockets at a holy city, the third most holy city of Islam? The whole thing is crazy. Why would they do something like that? When you have people attacking you like that, boy, you certainly do need protection. And if you don't have an Iron Dome, then they're coming after you. What are you going to do? A lot of people don't have an Iron Dome. But we have Jesus, if you're a Christian. In the Old Testament Psalms, they had Kyrios, the Lord. It begins of Psalmos to David, when he ran away from the face of Absalom, his son. And that whole story is about David's third son from a wife, Maacah, who had a sister named Tamar, and another half-brother of Absalom supposedly loved Tamar. His name was Amnon, and he made it so she would come in pretending to be sick. He was pretending to be sick to have her come feed him, and then he raped her. And Absalom hated him and wanted to kill him, waited about 3 years, and finally, at a convenient time, when they were all sons of David, were celebrating, shearing the sheep, getting drunk, and so forth, that Absalom killed Amnon, and then he fled into Hebron, where his maternal father of his mother's side was king in Hebron. And then later, he came back to Israel at the behest of Joab, David's general, who was in between the two, and he ended up, Absalom, ingratiating himself with the people by taking bribes for judgments and so forth. And he finally led a revolt in Hebron, and it headed towards Jerusalem, where his father David was. David found out about this, all these people coming against him with his son, and David fled, ran away from the face of Absalom. And it begins, he says, Kyrie, Lord, why were the ones afflicting me multiplied? And if you were being afflicted by many people, and especially if it's somebody of your own family, that's a hard thing to handle. Why? Why are all these? And he was trying to do the right thing. So if you're a Christian and you're trying to do the right thing, but you're living around Muslims, they hate you. They would, not all of them, of course, but there will be those that want to destroy you. And if you're living in a place that there are Christians and you're a Protestant and they're all Catholics, there are some that would want to destroy you, and vice versa. Every place in the world, somebody is after somebody else, it seems like. Yeah, there are some places that are fairly safe. Where I live in Newport, Oregon, there's nobody here that is afflicting me. I'm more having the mental affliction, but not David. He was being, the people were many coming from Hebron. Many rise up against me, he says. Many say to my soul, that's an allegory. He didn't actually say it to his soul, but they're saying it out loud, and it hurts his soul. There is not a deliverance to him by his God. Well, that means that these people either didn't believe in God or they didn't believe he believed in the right God. But he did believe in the right God, and they said there's not a deliverance. Now, soteria in the King James would be salvation. There is not a salvation. I don't use the word salvation. I use the word save in a few places where a person is like saved from drowning. It's a one-shot thing, not an ongoing thing. With soteria is a deliverance. It's over a period of time. You're not delivered automatically, instantly, all the time. Now we have this, the apsalma means it's a pause, instrumentation or so. Maybe they stopped and then they started with a new tune. Don't know. And then it continues. But you, Kyrie, are my antileptor. We'll see this word a lot in the book of Psalms. A shielder. And so when we are being attacked by Satan, or our physical problems, or members of our family, or in real enemies that are trying to harm us, we have a shielder. And the warrior in the period of this is well written, Goliath was one warrior, and he had a shielder who held his shields and his swords and different things, protected him maybe from rocks being thrown or something. And then Jonathan had a shielder who went with him when he attacked the Philistines. These shielders holding the shields to somewhat protect and give you the arms, the weapons to defeat the enemy. And this is who our Lord is, and Jesus is. He shields us, and he does give us arms to defeat the enemy of spiritual arms. Maybe I suppose sometimes we're even given physical arms. He's my glory, and the one raising up my head. His head is down because he's being afflicted and being attacked by his son, and all the people are now rising up against him. Oh, God, I can't imagine all the things that are coming against a person. Your head just goes down. It's just a part of the human nature. Even dogs, you look and they're in trouble or something, boy, their head goes down first thing. But God is the one, get your head back up. He's gonna give us a glory and get us through the hard times. And I need to know this myself going into surgery, that God is in charge. Now, if I don't come out of surgery, it's a win-win. I come out with a new knee or a hip, or I go to heaven, which is all right. Either one. Yeah, I cried out my voice to the Lord, and he heeded me from out of his holy mountain. The holy mountain was probably where the temple was, the tabernacle at this time. God heeded and heard, and God is in the heavens, and he hears us. And over again in the New Testament, we're told to cry out to the Lord, to pray to him, and he will hear us. And he is higher than the mountain. He is in the heavens of the heavens. So I went to bed, and I slept. I woke up. For the Lord shall shield me. I like this better because that's the verb, antilipsete, mu. He shall shield me. Assist, shield. So I wake up, and I'm going to go into surgery, and I'm going to go like, oh, I'm going to get a new spike in my hip. Thank you, Jesus. And if you're going through something, and you wake up, then Lord, pray to the Lord, and he will do the thing for you that is what he wants to happen. Now, it may not always be what you want. Doesn't mean if I went into surgery, something bad couldn't happen. But what is the alternative? To give up, or to cry and fear the whole time, or to hope for the best and read the Psalms and, know that God shall shield me. I shall not fear from 10,000s of people round about joining and attacking me, Absalom and the mob from Hebron coming. Rise up, O Lord! He yells it out in the exclamation. Rise up in the imperative. It's imperative. Rise up, O Lord! Well, rising up, God's not sitting down anywhere, but it's an allegory, a figure of speech of God doing something for me. Oh, please, Lord, rise up. Deliver me. Soson. Same with that. A soter is a deliverer, and soteria, deliverance. Soson is a verb, a form of the verb. Soson, deliver me. Oh, my God. For you struck all the ones hating me for no cause. And I look at the Jews that are in Israel today, and these Palestinians. Well, the only reason they care about the Jews is because in 1948, the United Nations felt sorry for all the Jews that were in the Holocaust and the Second World War being murdered by Hitler, that they decided to, let's let them go back to this land that they were supposedly from. And they voted, and one day, as prophesied in the Old Testament, Israel became a nation again in 1948. Well, the nation was very small. It was all Jewish, but all the ones around, mainly Muslims, some Christians, attacked Israel and were completely defeated. That happened a couple of times with these attacks against them. Well, now, did they really hate a Jew? Well, they might have. I guess you could argue that point, that they didn't like the way they did things, the way they dressed and so forth. And I've seen things that Jews have done that I don't like. I was just watching in these videos on YouTube on this, all these rockets, and the mayor of Jerusalem, and I thought, was it Jerusalem? Yeah. He's yelling at these Palestinians, hey, did anybody get the bullet out of your butt yet? Stuff like that. I mean, it's like, wow, no wonder they hate him. But they've hated the Jews for a long time. And then David says, you broke the teeth of sinners. That means like this Iron Dome. Now Israel is pounding the hell out of the Gaza Strip. All these rockets were underneath the ground and hidden, and now they brought them up and it shot them all at Israel. And now Israel is just pounding the Gaza Strip, and it's going into the West Bank. And today is Saturday. What is it? The 12th? I'm not sure. Of May, 2021. You'll know what happens, and you're watching this in the future. Oh, there goes my phone. Got to exercise. I keep forgetting to take it out. And you broke the teeth of sinners. God did something, breaking their teeth. Boy, that's that is doing something. It's like, you didn't you stopped the sinners from harming me, or you got in the way, But breaking their teeth, that hurts. And the people in Gaza are definitely hurt right now. Now, I'm not saying this is of God. Well, God is allowing it for whatever reason he has. And I've brought out things that I see that's a possibility coming in the future. But it is what it is. And then it says, David says, soteria, there we go again, is deliverance is of the Lord. And your blessing is upon your people. Now, I'm sure the Jews, some of the Jews in Israel are relying upon the God of Israel as being his people, and maybe drawing some of them closer to him, and maybe not. I'm not sure. Maybe the people are relying upon Iron Dome or their jet airplanes, and now they've got something like at least 90 nuclear missiles. So other countries are starting to threaten Israel, Turkey, the first one. Well, maybe Iran would have been the first one, but it's been threatening Israel ever since it was made, ever since they became a power in Iran. Now Turkey is saying, well, should we send troops there? And then Pakistan is getting into the melee of joining with Turkey, and Indonesia is even coming up against them. All these things are all prophesied. If this is the prophecy of I think it's the 38th chapter of the dead bones, and they rise up, and all these Muslim nations attack Israel. And it mentions all the nations, country from the far north, which could be either, it says Gog and Magog. It could be Turkey, and it could be Russia. Russia is sort of taking Iran's side. So this is all stuff that's happening. But these people are saying your blessing is upon your people. Well, is it? I question that. It could be a curse on the people that they will eventually, I believe, be controlling the world, and then the man of sin will arrive, who is mentioned in the second chapter of 2 Thessalonians, and he will go into the temple, which hasn't been built, which will be built. And so the Muslims have to be out of the way to build the temple, and then he will proclaim himself as God, and then the gathering comes after that. It says that in second. I'm not making it up. Read second. You may like to read 2 Thessalonians. I think it's the second chapter. Chapter 4. Wow. Put your hope in the Lord. Well, yeah. We'll find out more about that in Sound 4. Till then, God bless.